Hi everyone, Darren Hunter here. I am with Michael Sands from Teams by Design, and this is the Unbusy podcast show. And today we want to do a deep dive into what an executive assistant can actually do for you. Michael, you've been traveling the world. You've been over to the UK, you've been to New Zealand recently. You're really rubbing shoulders with a lot of real estate bosses out there. What's the word on the street around the usefulness of having an executive assistant, and not so much based in the office, but based remotely? What's been the feedback? What's been the need? What are you seeing going on out there?
I guess the main consistent word that we hear all the time is time. Business owners don't have enough time. We talk to them about, coaching and growth and doing things extra for their business, but they keep saying, Michael, I just don't have the time. I'm just so busy at work and I'm helping my team grow. I'm putting out fires. We are just not in a position to even bring on any more staff. And then I go back to them and say, well, you're at a capacity, but you need to grow because you're selling down 10, 20, 30% of your rent roll every year. What are you doing to solve that problem? And they just don't have time. And Darren, we see this in America, we see it in the UK, we see it in New Zealand, all through Australia. It's the same background definition of time. I don't have enough. Yeah.
So it's a time issue. Okay. This whole beast is time. All righty. And we're going to focus on that, everyone. That's going to be the theme of this. It's about getting back your life and getting back your time. Michael, why aren't then people simply just employing an assistant in the office to help them? Why are they still struggling if they identify that time is a real issue? What are the problems that prevent that?
Firstly, I think that a lot of people don't know what to do with extra time anyway. And a lot of people, they're busy being busy and they fill their day out with solving problems that they don't need to solve. We did a post on Facebook probably about 8 weeks ago, Darren, and it was, if you had 10 extra hours in your week, what would you do? And there are people on there saying, oh, I'm going to go on a holiday, or I'm going to do more admin work, or I wouldn't even know what to do with that amount of time because I don't even have that much time left. And these are business owners that are they're in this negative mindset. But Darren, there are ways that you can kind of harness time. I mean, you're the expert on time management. Like, every trick in the book on how an individual like myself, for example, can better use my time. But as a business owner and a real estate business owner, I still only have X amount of hours in the week. So it doesn't matter, like Darren, how good your training is to me on how I should manage my time better. I'm still at a capacity. And I'm a business owner for a reason, because I want to grow something and I want to have a valuable asset and I want to have a lifestyle. I don't want to be chained to a job, because I bring staff in to help build the business and do tasks that I don't want to work on because I want to focus on income producing and having a lifestyle. And we see so many business owners out there that go into business with that same mindset that I'm going to make a lot of money, I'm going to have a lifestyle, I'm going to be able to go out and hang with friends on the weekend and family and so on. But they end up creating themselves a job. And it comes back to time. They are at a capacity.
So let's talk about what life looks like when we do have time. As a business owner, as an entrepreneur, what are the sort of things that we know we could be doing and what we should be doing and what we'd like to be doing? What are the high value tasks, Michael, of a real estate business owner when they've been unchained from the ball and chain and unleashed? What does that look like?
What we typically see with business owners that have more time is a higher engagement with their audience, like with their clients, with new prospects. They're far more hyper visible in their marketplace. They have more time to focus on the real high level tasks, so engaging with current clients, finding new clients. They really get to focus on those high income activities, which they couldn't do before. Before, they were typically helping out their team members with the work that they're doing. And let's say, Darren, we worked out average cost per hour for a team member is about $50 plus. If you're a business owner and you're helping your property manager with tasks, you're working for free, right? Your time, you're not making any money there at all. So the high level things are re-engaging with your current clients, being more hyper visible, focusing on income producing tasks, and you can go and work on special projects. So Darren, we had the real estate business, we did rentals and we did investment sales. By having that extra time, I was able to go out and find new projects to sell to my database, which meant that I could generate a higher revenue coming into the business as opposed to being stuck at the desk.
I also, going back to, for example, with our Top Growth Academy at IGT, we're going through the 12 different strategies that you can be doing to grow your business. So, for example, setting up key relationships with strategic alliances and referral partners. So setting up relationships for referrals with accountants and mortgage brokers and financial planners and all of those people that are involved and connect with property investors. Well, that's a high level task. That takes time, and you've got to have time to be able to do that. And then once you got those relationships set up, it's doing investor education events. And they require high level time to organize. They're not hard to do. We teach that, but no one's got time. What about running a podcast show? That's a high level task, but people have got no time. We've got, what about Google reviews? Oh my goodness me, Michael, Martina Berry in Perth, who's got over nearly 700 reviews, and she's got several hundred more than her next competitor that's got reviews. She's getting several hundred leads a month for sales and property management, but to put that strategy in place that we teach, no one's got time. We can go on and on and on and on, and everyone, I want you to understand, and I'm hoping you're resonating with what we're saying. There's so much more you can be doing to change your world and change your business if you had the time. So through this podcast, we want to highlight to you the low-level tasks that you should not be doing that are costing you much more than what you think. You could easily give to another person who's just sitting there in the background supporting you, doing your work, doing the tasks that you're currently carrying that you shouldn't be doing, that are costing you all of that big activity that you're too busy to do. So Michael, what I want to do now, let's start going through the activities that a typical business owner is doing, and what we need to understand that these are your activities you're doing right now, but there's two sides to it. There's a low-level activity that could be given to an executive assistant, and there's the high-end stuff that only you could do, but there's two sides to it. So as we're going through these tasks, we're going to help you divide them into two, to the low-end stuff that could be done by an executive assistant, and the high-end stuff that is high skill, that's your job. So Michael, the first one we got here is email management. Let's talk about the two sides to that, the low-level stuff and the high-level stuff. What's the low-level stuff with typical email management?
Email management is relatively simple to have someone help you with that. I get a lot of spam emails. I get a lot of, just general basic question emails. I get emails that aren't really relevant to me. They might be more relevant to you. Having someone just kind of peruse my emails on a triage level and just make sure that any of the waste, spammy type emails are deleted. Anything that's like relevant to somebody else is forwarded to them and assigned to them. And anything that is of a high priority, could be new business, the high income producing emails, that gets allocated to me. So if I'm getting 10 emails a day and 2 of them are only relevant to me, then I'm only spending time on those 2 emails. The other 8 emails have been removed, discarded, assigned to somebody else.
Yeah, that's cool. I know with myself and with Bev, my EA, the work that the amount of time that I can spend now on the projects for our business and all the high level stuff, because I've got Bev doing all my low level stuff, I can watch my email inbox fill up with crap. And one of the exercises I've been doing recently is assigning all of the emails that I know I'm not going to read or I don't need anymore, and I'm just simply moving them to an unsubscribe box. And Beverly does the rest of the work in unsubscribing everyone. So bit by bit by bit, my list that's dropping, my raw emails that are dropping into my inbox every day is getting lower and lower and lower to the more high value emails because of the work that she's doing there. But I'm just too busy, to do that otherwise.
But we get flooded with so many wasted emails, Darren. And business owners in real estate get flooded with new projects that are coming on board. You get flooded with different CRMs and different projects, and it's a waste of time to really stop and read them when you don't need them. Having someone to triage it saves hours every day. And I mean, we just did a tour of New Zealand recently, and one of the things that we were talking about with a lot of the business owners there and challenging them is that they do their work within 8 hours of the day, but really they could probably do what they're doing within 4 hours of the day, as it is. And then we say to them, what would you be doing if you had an extra 4 hours every day to build your business? So when you think about it, if you've got an executive assistant that starts going through your emails and all these other things that we're going to be going through, you're going to be a new person. You need to make sure you replace the time with income producing, growth focused tasks though.
As I said, it's been a real game changer for me. And sorry, everyone, I'm looking a little bit distracted, but I'm actually bringing Bev into the room right now. I've been sending out messages, and Bev sometimes works out that she's being recorded or not. Hopefully she hasn't picked it up. As soon as she sees Michael, she knows she's being recorded. So anyway, this is Bev. Bev has just been such a game changer for me. I'm getting so much done with my projects. And let's just see, I'm just going to ask Bev around email management and what she does to keep me unbusy. So let's bring her in.
And Bev is amazing.
She is, absolutely. Hi Bev, how you doing?
Oh no.
She's already worked it out. Now Bev, you were suffering with a cold yesterday, so I hope you're better. Is you feeling better today?
Well, it's still the same. I felt worse actually last night, but yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just sharing with everyone, and we're in this podcast show, Bev. We're talking about all the big tasks that we do as real estate bosses and stuff, and how executive assistants help us carry with the low level stuff. So we're talking about email management. What do you do on a daily basis with my emails to keep that very busy email inbox sorted, so I'm only dealing with the stuff that I need to deal with? Just give us a little bit of a rundown of what you do. What's your typical tasks on a daily basis around that?
Well, in the morning when I first log in, it's your emails that I take care of first. I just want that to be out of the way, and so I take a look at everything. If it's not important, mostly what you have are like marketing emails from other people, and so I just I've already created labels on the left hand side, and so I just put them in their correct labels. And then if it's something that's that you have to look at, then I put them in the start emails and I let you know that they're there.
Now, there are some emails that you just reply to, right? And you don't even tell me about them, correct?
Yes. Well, actually, I tell you because some in the beginning we were replying to the same emails because we didn't know that I was already replying to it and then you replied to it. And so now before I reply to anything that I can reply to, I let you know that I'll be replying to that person.
Yeah. And there's times with our chat, because we also keep in touch on Google Chat, right? So that's our live chat. We can send stuff just like everyone, just like it's like Facebook Messenger or SMS text. Workplace chat is it's actually the business side of Messenger. It's actually the Facebook paid business side. But Bev, and of course Google Chat, you actually asked me a question, Darren. I've got this email here. How do I reply to this person? You give me a screenshot of the email in the chat. So right there, I can open it up and I can make a quick decision and give you instructions or whatever and go from there. I guess you find that useful.
Yes, because, well, yeah, correct. And also I just don't take care of your emails. I also take care of mine, and also Office, and also the newsletter inbox. So yeah, a lot of emails to take care of.
I know there's a lot of stuff that goes on, and I know that you very competently handle things, and I don't even have to worry about it, which is wonderful. And Bev actually gives us a report at the end of the day as well, a detailed report on all the little nuts and bolts, so you can actually see, what's actually gone on if you want to take a deep dive and take a real look at it. So thank you so much, Bev. You've been a real help, and really appreciate all that you do. And thank you for your time.
You're welcome. See
All
ya.
right, see you later.
Bye.
Bye.
So you can see there, Bev is so crucial to what I do. There's no way that I would be able to write up all of the marketing, to do all those emails that I do, the high level stuff, writing up all the descriptions for the academies that we're about to release with rent roll growth training and time management training and all the high level stuff that other people can't do if I'm caught in the weeds, everybody. Really, really important. Michael, let's move on. The next thing on your list is dealing with phone calls. So let's talk about what are the typical phone calls that a boss deals with, has to deal with, but what's the low level side of it and the high level side of it, so we can see both sides.
Yeah, I guess it depends on too, like which level the business owner's at. Like if they're a solo operator, or they've got a team underneath them, like with a reception and so on. But for us, and especially in real estate, I made sure that like my EA handled every single tenant inquiry, communication that came into the office, that they were the first point of call for every single tenant issue, question, everything. That included maintenance and everything there too. Every phone call went through them first. The only phone calls that I dealt with were the owner calls, and more so the new business owner calls, because I had a property manager who dealt with anything such as following up on the lease or the property or giving notices, things like that. The property manager handled that. For me, the only type of calls that I handled from it was really new business. There were sometimes complaints from tenants, and there were some higher escalations that I had to deal with. Some things like could be around maintenance or a flooding or a property burning down, things like that I was the best person in the business to kind of deal with. Well, I assumed I was the best person in the business to deal with it. Maybe I wasn't. But I didn't deal with anything low level. Everything was filtered through the EAs first.
Yep. And you just heard how competent Beverly is with her English skills. Now, Beverly's based in Manila, so she works remotely. She's always there managing things and carrying things for us because everything's through internet. If you're in a situation where you're getting calls come in, why do you have to take them? Your executive assistant could pick it up, could screen the calls, and if it's an important one, they can book that person into your diary. So all you have to worry about is at this time I've got to click on that Zoom link, and all of the low-level work is being done for you, so you don't have to spend any time on that phone call until you're in that appointment, but all the other work to bring them and shepherd them into that appointment's being done. How much time saving for that would be for you if you didn't have to worry about taking phone calls and only dealing with the most important things.
But it's also too, Darren, so even where there are those calls that are a potential escalation, like that you would have to deal with, and using Bev as an example, I am confident in Bev's ability to kind of say, hey, Bev, this is what I would say. Do you mind giving them a call back and saying A, B, C, D? Because it's not really critical for me to kind of get on the call. And at the end of the day, the person that is calling you, they want a high value exchange. So they're calling you with a question, they want something from you. And if they're getting that at a high level value, they're satisfied. It's when people are not getting the outcome in the call that they want to, being heard, listened to, that a negative escalation takes place. Having someone like Bev in place there, who is confident on the phone and can think laterally and can problem solve and handle 80, I mean, Bev could handle 90+% of the calls that would come through of all inquiries, right? Then you're only dealing, I mean, Darren, you only deal with the high level stuff. Like you don't deal with anything low level hanging at all, like at all.
We've got full trust in Bev because she's so good. Now, again, everybody, these aren't virtual assistants. These are next level up. These are Virtual assistants are very, very useful in the business. And of course, if you're wanting a virtual assistant, speak with Michael. But we're talking next level. This is next base. These are people that are next level up, that are high, using their initiative. They've got good English skills. They're very, very competent, and they are at the same level as you would probably have to pay someone in Australia to work in your office with a salary of $80,000 to $100,000. And then you've got desk costs as well, with internet and insurance and all of those things that you've got with employing somebody. That this is the type of person that you can put on board, but only at a third of the cost. This is where we're going with this, to make it possible that you can put on a person that's going to help you with all of this stuff that just is like a ball and chain around your leg and truly unbusy you. But Michael, let's move on. So booking in appointments and appointment management, let's now look at that from a real estate business owner's point of view, or a team leader or something like that. What's the low level side of it that could be done by an EA, and what's the high level side of it that can only be done by us?
Yeah, and I think too, to touch on your comment before, like what you would call a virtual assistant is someone that is doing the repetitious task over and over again, and they don't have to think laterally or problem solve an over amount. Whereas an executive assistant, you have that full level of trust. They have the ability to think laterally and handle more high level tasks in line with you. As far as like booking in appointments and so on, I love that there is someone there that can book in all the sales calls, all the sales appointments for me. If there's somewhere that I have to be, they book it in. They've got total control of my diary, so they can see exactly what I've got on for the day. They know that if I'm at one location and I need to be at another location, not to double book me. Not saying if I finish something at 12 o'clock, I'm not going to be somewhere at 12:15 that's 45 minutes away. So they look at that. When someone emails me and says, "Hey, Michael, can we have a catch up? Want to talk about bringing on an executive assistant?" That they book it in, Darren. I don't even think about it. Like, it's booked into my diary. I wake up and I've got appointments that are booked in already. Whereas before, I've got to take the call. I've got to go through my email, go through the diary.
Yeah, same for me. We've got a shared diary at IGT. So we've got my diary in shared is the blue appointments, Dennis's is orange, and Michael's yellow, and we can see each other's appointments. And for me, just to have an appointment drop into my diary, all the work's done, the chasing's been done, the phone call has been done to book them in, or the email ping pong has been done that, oh, what time, what day are you going to be available this week? Oh, Wednesday next week, no problem. Now what time? Ping pong, all that work's been done to finally confirm they're in my diary. And all I have to do is hit that Zoom link and I am there speaking to them, and all of that weeds work has been done for me. That is so valuable, because me doing that task just wears me down and costs me so much money, because it's the things that I can't do in the high value stuff.
I think too, like, imagine you're a business owner and someone sends you an email inquiry. "Hey, Darren, I'm looking to rent out my property. Can you let me know a bit about your business, fees and charges," and so on, the normal questions that are asked. And this comes through at 10 o'clock at night and you're asleep, or family, or what have you. First thing in the morning, your executive sees that email and straight away sends them out information on the business. And they also say, "Hey, let me book in a time for you and Darren to catch up. I can do it this morning at 9:30 or whatever it is." They can even pick up the phone and say, "Yeah, hey, I'm Darren's executive assistant. I've seen your email. Let me book in a chat with you. I've already sent you out some information on the business and our services that we provide. I understand you want to talk about things such as fees and further service. What time have you got this morning or today that we can have a catch up?" Right? And you've done nothing, right? All you've done, Darren, is check in the morning and see the diary, and you'll see the emails back and forth. But it's seamless. And I know there are programs out there that help with proposals and everything, but what they miss is that human connection. Like, they miss that human input. And people want to deal with people. So again, if you've got people trying to deal with you, calling you, emailing you, and you put them through a computerized funnel, you're missing what the other agent is going to do, which is call them, speak to them, book them in.
Now, everyone, when you heard me speaking to Bev, did you hear that she understands not just the heartbeat of our business, but mine as well? She understands me. She understands my needs. She's in sync with how I think, and she flows into that. So she's truly serving me and knowing what's most important to me. And then if something's out of sync, she's adjusting it. She's always adjusting things and keeping things organized in the background and doing things that I'm not even aware of and doing all the hard yards for me. So Michael, I think what we'll do is we'll end this podcast here because there's a lot of information on here for people to digest, and we will continue this on in the next podcast with a lot of other tasks that you are doing right now, with parts of those tasks that you shouldn't be doing, and getting out to an executive assistant so you can get your wings, you can be soaring in your business and doing all those high-end things that are growing your business and setting you free and doing what you intended in the first place, but now you've got stuck with doing like a ball and chain. And we want to unbusy you. That's what this podcast is all about. So Michael, what's a way that people can get in contact with you right now if they want to talk about executive assistants?
Just go to teamsbydesign.com and contact us and just say, hi, let's have a chat. You'll be able to book directly into my diary. We can catch up, go over your needs, your values, what you're looking to achieve, your outcome, and so on. And no obligation. We can just kind of see how you're operating at the moment. We can give you some advice and see how an executive assistant can work in your business.
And everyone, for a list of 30 different things that a virtual assistant can do in your business as well to unbusy your team, just go to teamsbydesigntasks.com. That's teamsbydesigntasks.com. Of course, go to teamsbydesign.com to book in and speak with Michael. Yeah, and also, Michael, your diary link, everybody, just go to unbusychat.com. That will actually book you straight into Michael's diary, unbusychat.com. We've linked that up with Michael's Calendly, and that will book you straight into his diary, so unbusychat.com. All right, thank you so much, Michael. Thanks, everyone, and we'll see you in the next podcast.
Bye.